Top of the morning, Dan and Amy and Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. That's Dr. Rand Paul to you.
Oh, yeah. Thank God for Dr. Paul.
He posted a video calling for some level of resistance from the COVIDians. This is consistent with what he said in an op-ed on FoxNews.com last week, but this is being much talked about now.
And we pray, Lord God, as we gather tonight.
It's time for us to resist. They can't arrest all of us. They can't keep all of your kids home from school. They can't keep every government building closed, although I've got a long list of ones they might keep closed or might ought to keep closed. We don't have to accept the mandates, lockdowns, and harmful policies of the petty tyrants and bureaucrats. We can simply say no, not again. Nancy Pelosi, you will not arrest or stop me or anyone on my staff from doing our jobs. We have either had COVID, had the vaccine, or been offered the vaccine. We will make our own health choices. We will not show you a passport. We will not wear a mask. We will not be forced into random screenings and testings so you can continue your drunk with power reign over the Capitol. President Biden, we will not accept your agency's mandates or your reported moves towards a lockdown. No one should follow the CDC's anti-science mask mandates. And if you want to shut down federal agencies again, some of which aren't even back to work yet, I will stop every bill coming through the Senate with an amendment to cut their funding if they don't come back to work in person. Local bureaucrats and union bosses, we will not allow you to do more harm to our children again this year. Children are not at any more risk from COVID than they are from the seasonal flu. Every adult who works in schools has either had the vaccine or had their chance to get vaccinated. There is no reason for mask mandates, part-time schools, or any lockdown measures. Children are falling behind in school and are being harmed physically and psychologically by the tactics that you have used to keep them from the classroom during the last year. We won't allow it again. If a school system attempts to keep children from full-time in-person school, I will hold up every bill with two amendments, one to defund them and another to allow parents the choice of where the money goes for their child's education. Do I sound fed up to you? That's because I am. I'm not a career politician. I practiced medicine for 33 years.
That certainly would apply at the state level in Illinois and so many other states that are run by Democrat socialists. And the response to the case that Rand Paul lays out from one Representative Adam Kinzinger was what?
He he put a reply and he had a GIF of a video of a guy drinking Kool-Aid out of a jug. Like Rand Paul's drinking the Kool-Aid. And I don't think Rand drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, even more to the point, Kinzinger's really become a snide little bitch, hasn't he?
There's that, yes.
That's a response on the merits to this.
Uh-huh.
He's been invited on this show. He doesn't want to come on anymore because he only wanted to come on when there were topics we agreed on. That's how courageous he is. Really. The Kool-Aid, just drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the Dr. Macri from Johns Hopkins and his colleague from Tufts who wrote that op-ed opposing mask mandates for kids over the weekend in the Wall Street Journal that we discussed yesterday. I guess they're just drinking the Kool-Aid too, unlike Dr. Kinzinger, who is
not a doctor.
When he's not on the 1-6 Commission, he's running interference for a sexual predator and his political hack colleagues over at the Lincoln Project. That's real profound stuff.
And brought to tears during the 1-6 Commission when he couldn't stop crying.
I never expected the day to be quite as emotional for me as it has been. I've talked to a number of you and gotten to know you. I think it's important to tell you right now, though. You guys may, individually feel a little broken. You guys all talk about the effects you have to deal with, and, you talk about the impact of that day. But you guys won.
For more on all this, we're pleased to be joined by Catalina Lauf. She is a candidate for Congress running in the Republican primary against Kinzinger. Catalina, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Dan and Amy.
So what about Rand Paul's position on these CDC guidelines that metamorphosize into mandates when they're received by states like Illinois?
Well, I first want to say, what Kool-Aid has Adam been drinking for the last year and a half when he is enabling the Democratic agenda here and not fighting for liberty and the values that he has sworn to uphold as a representative of U.S. Congress? You know, Senator Rand Paul is one of the few patriots left that we have that is actually fighting up against these people that are trying to impose these terrible, I would say, ideologies at this point, because you don't know the truth when it comes to the media. You don't know the truth when it comes to CDC. It's a moving goalpost. It's been like that since the beginning of COVID. And ultimately, Senator Rand Paul is fighting for every American at this point, especially in blue states like ours. Who knows if Governor Pritzker wants to now impose lockdowns, impose new mask mandates, forcing kids in their sports to wear masks outside. I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous, and it needs to stop. And Senator Rand Paul is right when he says they cannot go against all of us. If we all need to stand up together.
Right. If our kids all took their masks off at the same time on, say, some Monday at 10 a.m., I think that would, they can't kick everybody out of the school at the same time.
No, absolutely not. And look at even with the vaccine mandates, there are a lot of people now that I get on social media and people that are reaching out to me here in our state that say, my employer is forcing me to get vaccinated. What do I do? People are leading protests, peaceful protests, of course, before they call us, violent and all of that. They're leading protests to combat this. And I think companies are going to really suffer from this. But ultimately, these states that are, if they end up going back to this really draconian measures on the mask mandates and even the vaccine, look at what's happening in New York City with the vaccine passport, which, by the way, Adam Kinzinger tweeted that he was essentially in support of them. This is a huge infringement on our liberty, but we ultimately have the power to stand up.
Mm-hmm. So what's the reality on the ground there in the 16th with Kinzinger? I know, and frankly, we're still waiting for the congressional maps. We don't even know what 16 might look like if it still exists at all. So how does and again, we're 10 months from the primary, but how does this race stack up? Because I understand there are other candidates that are also have announced their candidacy. So a crowded primary, if this moves forward and he actually does run for re-election, probably accrues to his benefit.
Well, I would first say the numbers don't lie. We've been out there on the ground. We've been raising money. If you look at, what we've raised comparison to some of these others that have announced, it's just there's no competition here other than Adam. And ultimately it comes down to, the people are so sick of this guy. I would even say that moderate Republicans are sick of this guy. He has completely lost his base. He's lost his mind when it comes to just the things that he says on Twitter that is completely Democrat at this point. He is Nancy Pelosi's lapdog.
Yep.
This is far beyond Trump derangement syndrome. This is very much, Adam, you're a Democrat. Why don't you switch parties at this point? And the people are sick of it. And ultimately, it takes people to primary challenge incumbents. And I don't think that we were able to do that up until, this last election, probably up until 2016, where you had an America First movement, people that want authenticity, that want servant leadership, that are able to recruit candidates or put other people out there against incumbents. And we're proud to be raising the money. We're proud to have the boots on the ground and to have the support. The January 6th commission was the cherry on top before even the impeachment vote. A lot of people were already turning their back on him far before the impeachment vote. That happens. And then now you add the January 6th commission. It's like, what is going on here? This guy needs to go.
It seems to me this is another cautionary tale. It's not new. It's somebody who goes to D.C. and decides at some point that what he really wants to be is sort of a celebutante We saw it with Aaron Schock. Now we're seeing it with
yeah.
Adam Kinzinger. We've seen it with Joe Walsh. I mean, they're apparently they don't really believe in much of anything other than their own sort of career path and profile and status. And so at some point, whether they ever did or they don't, at some point that's who they are. And so they're just going to say anything to be able to hang out with Anderson Cooper and maybe get a book deal and maybe get a media gig after their time in political office has run its course. That seems to me what's happened with Kinzinger. That's just my armchair analysis.
No, and you're absolutely right. And a lot of those people end up going to Washington, and you're exactly right. They forget where they came from. But ultimately, look at what's happening with our country and look at things. I mean, the infrastructure deal, for example, the $1 trillion of debt that we're heading into now with the Biden administration. I have restaurant owners, people in small businesses out here in the 16th district that can't even find employees because of a labor shortage. You have real kitchen table economic issues that are a problem now that were honestly solved during the Trump administration with things like the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act and a pro-growth economic policy agenda. And here you have the Biden administration destroying our country day after day. You have our liberties taken away now with these mask mandates. Look at the border crisis. There are real issues. We don't have time for our representatives to be prancing around MSNBC and CNN bashing our party and worrying about things like, what did Trump do last week? I mean, that's exactly what Adam Kinzinger does. There's no servant leadership there. And it's time that we reestablish that. I'm 28 years old. I worked for the Trump administration at the Department of Commerce. I work in the small business startup space. We need real people, everyday Americans now that want to serve for the right reasons, that want to go there and talk to their constituents and listen and solve real world problems. We need younger people. We need new perspectives and new ideas in Washington to really drain the swamp. We need to drain the Illinois swamp. It's deep here at Dan and Amy. And ultimately, I think what's the most disappointing is people like Adam, when you're on a national platform like that, he had a real opportunity to really speak for Republicans in this state who feel lost. Republican voices feel lost in the state because of weak Republicans on things like mask mandates and fighting, the Democratic agenda.
And you're right. He should just switch parties.
Weak Republicans in Illinois. Are there any other kind? I mean, really. So, Catalina, by the way, prancing.
Not anymore.
All right. Very good. Prancing, a very good word. Good word choice.
Yes.
Since you're 28, since you're Gen Z, I want to get your reaction to this archetype that's been presented by the Biden administration. They got a new marketing outfit to help them appeal to the kids, stay now and hip it like, me and Amy wish we could. Maybe we need to hire Cooper, the Gen Z intern. Here's Cooper. And when you listen to him, picture him wearing long acrylic fake nails because that's what he's wearing.
And shorts.
One sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
We did a joke. Hey, everyone. Vote.
Usually I start off with a big coffee. Sorry, they're really strict in here.
Hey, Jenny. I booked you a nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called initiative.
Yeah.
Hi, White House. This is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
It points to his brain.
Sorry, Miss Jen. And Jen, don't forget to have fun. Spirit fingers, Mama.
We need to get shots in the arms of every single American.
I'm heading to a haircut.
Comment if you want me to make more of these.
Well, I'll tell you what. At least we finally know who's in charge at the White House. It's Cooper, the Gen Z intern, Catalina.
Yeah, and the influencer marketing and these digital queens is what they call them. It's pretty sad. I mean, look at what does China and Russia look at or hear or think when they see that happening in the West Wing. that place is sacred. And I understand, sometimes the Democrats try to use digital marketing tactics and try to be hip and cool to expand to a new generation, but that was not it. And, it's unfortunate that this is the culture war that we're in now. This guy had his feet on the desk and
it was so disrespectful. Yeah.
It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
And just
I
what segment,
also thought the nail polish did not.
You didn't like the
match.
white with the pointy thing now? That's the new thing.
But it's just the wrong color. He's more of a fall complexion.
Oh,
and I thought
okay.
that was the wrong color choice there. All right, Catalina, thanks so much for joining us. Catalina Lauf, she is a Republican candidate challenging Adam Kinzinger in the 16th. The website, CatalinaForCongress.com, CatalinaForCongress.com. Catalina, thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, and have a good day. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Folks, when shopping for a home mortgage, how much is great service, low closing costs, and competitive interest rates worth to you? At Townstone Financial, it's priceless. Hi, Barry Sterner, founder of Townstone Financial. Let's hear about the Townstone experience from one of our customers.
My name is Deb, and I just closed on a house through Townstone Financial. Barry and Townstone make it so seamless. They did all the work for me. I didn't expect service like that. I didn't have a large down payment. My credit wasn't pristine. That's one of the reasons I called Barry and Townstone, because I heard that they will go above and beyond to get you what you need. And don't be afraid to do it. It's easier than you think.
Remember, nobody values your home mortgage business more than Townstone. I guarantee it, and I own the company. So call me now, Barry Sterner, at 312-896-2110. That's 312-896-2110. Or go to townstone.com. That's TOWNSTONE.com.
Townstone Financial is licensed in Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida. NMLS 136639. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Equal housing lender.
Oh, Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life, but he didn't stop by simply creating the best pillow. Mike created the new Giza Dream bed sheets. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep, which is crucial for anyone's busy schedule. He found the world's best cotton called Giza. It's ultra soft and breathable, but extremely durable. The Giza sheets come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 10-year warranty, and come in a variety of sizes and colors. And guess what? The first